Good day, fellow watchers. Today we are looking at two Swatch Sistem51's automatics. Both of them are stuck. They just don't want to walk and run anymore. This one has got some treatment 2 or 3 times before, and the crown has broken off during the process. You can see it's slightly wound, but the only way to have salvaged it was to create a watch face, an Amazfit watch face. And today we're going to do the same procedure on this one to see if we can unstick it. This one is completely stuck, fully wound. And it needs a lot of motivation to get it, just to get a few ticks out of it. I don't think it actually ticks. So we're going to remove the crown and the stem, and then we'll spray some silicone lubricant. I think it's similar to Q20, but it's more of a lubricant. And see what happens. This will be maybe the 4th time now, so the result isn't permanent unless maybe something else is added. Okay, let's start with removing the crown. I'll use this pocket knife. It shouldn't cause too many scratches. It's very smooth. And then we'll just lever the crown and the stem. Let's just pull it to the time setting position. There we are. And now we're going to lever it from underneath, but at the same time I'll use my thumb to support the crown on the other side. Now the full weight of the watch and the pressure from this pocket knife is on the crown. I'll just gently lever it. And then twist to the other side. Some patience is needed, but eventually it will loosen. Try from different angles as well. A little bit more pressure. Nothing yet. Let's give it half a turn. You can probably see the crown is bending. That's very dangerous. That's when the crown stem will snap. as on the other model. Okay, let's give it another turn. Okay, there it goes, very easily. And there we have the crown with the stem still intact. Now let's get to this lubricant spray. Okay, now just to get it right on top of that hole, I'll use this position, 2 fingers, thumb and long finger, and slightly press. Okay, I think they must have entered a lot of lubricant. Now we'll just wait for it to settle. Just 1 squirt should be enough, at least last time. This model, by the way, is called High Flyer, I think. Let's see how it loosens. Maybe we can add some compressed air to blow some of the lubricant into the mechanism. And here's our manual compressor. I'll just attach this football piece. And one will need hands like an octopus to be able to handle it all, but it's all about position, I think. You don't have to put the nozzle directly against the hole. There should be some space for the air to escape, and just cause some circulation inside the watch. Looks like it's loosening up a bit, but it will take some patience to get the lubricants circulated. Add a little bit more. Okay, now it's actually just flowing from the straw into the hole. That's ideal. And then just wait for it to run down inside the movement. And some more compressed air. Okay, not much of an improvement, but a good idea might be to wear it so that it warms up, and maybe there is not noticeable lubricant flowing into the watch, but it will for sure cause a vapor once the watch warms up, and that vapor will even condense on the crystal and the dial inside the hands actually. So one should work sparingly, or at least give it some breathing through the crown hole. So it's a good idea to not insert the crown immediately. But another problem, I think the crown gear mechanism inside causes some more friction, so eventually one has to insert the stem again. So we'll just repeat this procedure, adding more lube but sparingly, warming the watch, and so forth. Let's see if we create a little puddle above that hole. Yeah, something like that. And then we'll use the crown stem to work the lubricant into the casing. Something like this. And we can even spray it on the stem while the stem is there, halfway inserted. Work it in. And don't forget to move the mechanism once in a while. Quite often it's going to take a lot of patience to loosen it up. We are still not improving. Maybe some more compressed air. And don't forget to shake it at different positions. Okay, that's a sudden stop. I think the escapement is stuck. But I think now we can replace the crown and the stem and warm the watch. Heat it up a little bit on the arm, wear it outside in the sunshine and see if it will loosen up. And as I said, they will form a vapor inside, and hopefully the lubricant will condensate on the gears and all the parts that need lubrication. Lower viscosity than the current lubrication might be. So we'll just replace the crown, push while turning it slightly. Okay, it's snapped in. Turning. Okay, it's fully snapped in, and we can wind it a little bit so that there's movement as well, where the lubricant can pick up. We'll just have to see. Much more patience needed. It's going to take some time. I don't know if it will work this time. It worked three or four times before. The major problem could be that the watch isn't worn every day, and then the lubricant will just dry out. Or it will just dry out anyway. I have to see. Until next time, and thanks for watching. And after spraying along this needle inserted there, we have quite some improvement. But not there yet. Let's give it another spray. And then work out all the air. Wiggle the needle. And keep the movement going as far as it can. Okay, seems like we're getting some amplitude now. Maybe it's almost ready to be worn and warmed up. I think we can insert the crown again, but I don't want to lever it out again. It's always a nerve-wracking stage. So we can just put some masking tape over there. And see, there will be a little bit more friction because the adjuster gear is engaged now, but hopefully it can run for some time. Okay, we are getting real amplitude now. The lube must have circulated a bit, and it will circulate even more when the vapor forms and condenses on the components. And thanks again for watching. I hope to report back when the crown is inserted and the watch is running as it should. It's now overwound. I think the limiter clutch already engaged. Good night, everyone. Sistem Fly is still running since 3:20 at its own time, so it's now running for just over 7 hours, and it's got quite an amplitude. And we can insert the crown stem once again. You can hardly see the spokes. Don't know if you can hear it. Anyway, I decided to take it off during night time so that the watch can cool down a bit and there can be some condensation on the components and thus more lube. Thanks for watching. Until later.